You of the Valentine's Day cricket match between Pakistan and India. I thought that this video would be a good indicator of my feelings and share a little personal experience of what it means to be a Muslim American, but to be uh, going from almost a conservative standpoint to a liberal. So let's get right to it. Chicago Tribune is doing a story on the Pakistan versus India game. For those of you who are not way into cricket, basically, if you lived in the subcontinent, you know that the Pakistan versus India rivalry has a big deal. The two nations don't like each other much, and in sports it comes to really feel. But honestly, in terms of as an American, it's awesome to have Indian friends. It's awesome to have American friends. I cannot describe the notion of being an American and what it means to me from a cultural standpoint, right? So when I migrated from Pakistan around 1999, I really didn't have an understanding of what assimilation was, what embracing diversity. Keep in mind, come from Pakistan where everything is fueled by nationalism, everything is pride and ego, because people don't have anything else to look forward for, right? If Pakistanis and Indians for somehow can work together in economy on employing jobs or and things like that, I mean the religion and culture wouldn't even matter. Back to the point, so I came here in the States in around 1999, and I started making a lot of Indian friends because I played under 13 cricket. Now, keep in mind that cricket was one of the most dear, still sentimental stuff to me because I just love the sport so much, and I've always been a competitive in cricket about it. So for the first time in my life, I'm playing with Indians. I had Indian teammates, and it was a great experience. And that's where the summation comes from. I think people don't realize that people migrate from their home countries here to embrace that diversity, to embrace that assimilation. And even fast forward 7 or 8 years later, or 15 years later, I have so many Indian friends. I have more Indian friends and non-Muslim friends than I've actually have Muslim friends. So why? Why do I have that? It's A, because it gives me diverse opinions, and B, it's because you will always find people that would have different contrasting views on opinions and biases, with or without you, biases that don't conform to your thoughts. But that doesn't mean that you can't be friends. I mean, I have I have African American friends, I have atheist friends, I have non-atheist friends, I have very hardcore Christian friends, and I embrace that diversity, and I get along with them super fine. I think at the end of the day, we're Americans. But most of my friends who I lived with, one was an atheist. I've lived with him for such a long time, and now I live with a guy who's not really. It's not even the fact that I have something in common with him. It's just the fact that we lived hard, and that goes on all perils. So the thing is that there's nothing rivalry in my eyes about Pakistan and India. I know people hype it up. Obviously, I was born and raised in Pakistan, even though my family's from India and my cultural roots are from India. I don't really care who wins. I just take it as a sport. I take it as if I was to put myself in that position, I would want to win the game. Let's say that the tides have turned. Let's say that my parents were from Pakistan and somehow they migrated to India. Obviously, I would want to play for an Indian cricket team. You know what the funny thing is, though? That I was born in, so I've always wanted to play cricket, but now if I was given an opportunity, I wouldn't want to play for Pakistan. I wanted to play for USA. And why? Why do I want to play for USA? You know, some Pakistani fueled moron would like call me names and stuff like that. And because America gave me an opportunity, I actually became great in cricket in America. So if a country gives me an opportunity to play, especially America, and I don't care how bad our team is, I want to represent the country that gave me an opportunity, and it boils down to that. You look in sports and you will realize that people who didn't make the Pakistani cricket team went to other nations. Imran Tahir was a South African spin bowler. He did that. It's not about the fact that I don't like my country. I like the country. I make a lot of posts on Pakistan or making it better. At the end of the day, it's not about if I'm a Muslim or my friends are Hindu, or if I'm a conservative or whatever you want to label me, and some guy's a liberal or a neo, classical individual, or if I'm a Democratic somehow and he's Republican. It's the fact that this country gives you an opportunity, and no matter how many bad things, I mean, no country is perfect. Every country has a flaw. And the reason that we speak out, or the reason that a lot of people speak out against these things, is not because they feel like um, the country is wrong per se. Nothing is perfect. It's to address those wrongs. Now, you don't ever see me say that Pakistan is perfect because it's not. It's far away from reality. But one thing I can say that America excels in is just giving an opportunity. You give these guys, you give any days, and I know success stories from A to Z about people migrating from their home countries and becoming something better, and they might never have gotten that chance. For me, that's a very personal thing. I take that like if so, and throughout my life, no one has believed in me. I've always been an underdog, but the fact that a country can give me an opportunity. I mean, in 1999, I was 10 years old. Did the country really think I was going to become something or I was going to do something with my life? For all I know, I could have just, work as a retail job and not go to school and not make something out of my life. The thing that I pride most about America, and the reason that I put all these posts is not because I'm some sort I don't have time on my hands or something. It's because these things matter to me because these things are what the foundation of the country was. So if you think that, I'm just biased with Muslims or I'm biased with Desi culture, I'm not. I'm not. I'm very open to American thing. As a matter of fact, I would have joined the Air Force too. Now someone can say, "Oh man, you joined the Air Force, you're gonna kill my." No, like you have to understand. Every country has their statutory laws, okay? And if a Muslim group is doing something wrong, I will be the first one to fight against them in the battlefields. I don't care if you're Muslim or not if you're doing things wrong way. And that's just who I am. That's my moral ethics. Someone might not agree with me, but those are my personal ethics. Those are my moral ethics that dictate me, that dictate my lifestyle. That if something is wrong and if something is not right, regardless of religion or humanity or what type of or if that person is considered pious or not, I would be the first one to speak out. Now, I'm not perfect. And I don't expect people to be perfect either, but don't think for a moment that these posts and everything are being involved in social and political issues is some sort of bias. It's not. I would post same things if it was an African American being killed, or the Ferguson's shooting, or ISIS shooting, or even I'm born in a Sunni household, but I post a lot of stuff about Shias. So why do I do that? Obviously, it's not because I'm biased. Obviously, it's because I understand there's domestic issues. But at the same time, I call myself an American. I call myself an American, and I just told you that if you're granted an opportunity to represent USA in a cricket team, and if I was that talented enough, I would represent USA or Pakistan. Why? Again, it boils down to opportunity. I might never have gotten that opportunity in Pakistan because no one would have believed in me. But I made something out of this, and that's because a country gave me some channels, and I use those channels. And I think everyone and anyone has a chance to do that. And this is why you see a lot of different demographics in America. It's the fact they don't like their home countries because of those statutory regulations. I mean, why do you think if you go to like Glen Oaks Hospital and you see 30 years of service, you see a list of Patels? It's a very common stereotype or stigma. But at the end of the day, think about it. The reason people and Muslims and Indians and Hindus and Polish people all migrate from their countries is because this land gives them an opportunity and they make something out of themselves where they could have never done that in their home country. Obviously, it's like where you're born and those are your roots. Obviously, you feel for it. You feel for it if you're from Somalia and there's a civil war going on in Somalia, or if you're from Nigeria. But at the end of the day, you're living in America. As most people, they would never go back to their countries. Why? Because they know that it's not what gives them. But that doesn't mean that we should just cover issues and taboos about it. If there's something wrong socially, if there's something wrong politically, if racism is still an issue, and it is at this point, and if ethnic killings are still an issue at this point, and if bias is against Muslims and African Americans, and even a lot of social issues, that we have the right to say that. At the end of the day, we're Americans, and that's what the country is based on. You have to understand the theology. It's not about being a Muslim. It's not being about Hindu. It's not about the fact that you're a Sikh. It's about the fact that you're an American and you care because these issues haunt you, and you understand that if that at the end of the day, everyone is chasing their American dreams. Everyone wants to live in a nice fancy house, live in a good car, and have a family. Those are the only things that matter. No one really cares about going and doing like those. Everything else is a distraction. ISIS is a distraction. The people in the Middle East are suffering from a good economy for long years. The people that do this, that do ethnic killings for Shias and Sunnis, are the same people that can't put bread. So the only distraction they have is to kill, and they associate themselves with groups that can promise them those things. You give people prosperity, life, liberty, and prosperity, right? I think John Locke said that. Might be wrong, but if you give them life, liberty, and prosperity, then obviously they're going to go and associate themselves with that. No big bearded Muslim guy is gonna tell you he wants to go back to Afghanistan because the economy is so great, or Pakistan's economy is so great. No one does that. Why? Because they understand that the democratic capitalism economy is much better than the parliament economy, in which the elite control 5% of the land, and then if there is no middle class, and even if you're middle class, you're working your ass off for your whole life, and you can't afford basic things. Inflation is up like huge there. This video is 10 minutes, but I want to emphasize the fact, and I know people are probably not going to watch all these 10 minutes, but the bottom line is, it's not bias. It's not the fact that I'm Muslim and that. It's the fact that I'm American and I care. I care about these social issues. I care about the political issues. Maybe a white Caucasian guy, yeah, I'm not American because I'm not born and raised there, but I'm an exemplified citizen. And why am I boosting my ego, or why am I boosting myself here? Because I do what I'm supposed to do as a citizen. I pay taxes. I want the country to be better. I want people to have good jobs. I want people to have a prosperous and safe life. I want that, not just for myself, but for everyone. It's not me trying to being sincere, trying to earn brownie points. It's the fact that's what every human wants at the end of the day. Everybody just wants a decent life. And that's all I care, and that's all we care about at the end of the day. That's what should unite us. And obviously, in every spectrum, in animal species, there's different spectrums. We will have different religious issues. We will clash on political issues. We will clash on social issues. We will have biases. We will have our own opinions. That is white noise. That doesn't matter, because the common goal is life, liberty, and prosperity. You give those three things to any individual, and I promise you that they will be gratified with their lives. And that's all. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.